Alright, we're gonna go to like videos. This the one, Jubilee. Jubilee has some 5 videos. Man, whole time though, I don't know. They been not copyright. Oh man, I'm doing a reaction video, bro.
See if they can find a middle ground. Our first question is: should it be socially
Bro, we gonna get
acceptable for
into it.
men to wear skirts?
Should it be socially acceptable? I'ma just say yes, and then I ain't gonna get into no explaining. I'm gonna see what's up with the video and react on some shit. Should it be socially acceptable for men to wear skirts? For the purpose of the debate, I'll probably be like, oh, I'll be on the traditional men's side. First of all, for the sake of the video, I'll be on the traditional men's side for that. And for this answer, I'll be on the no. Should it be socially acceptable? No, it shouldn't be. I'll be on that side for the debate for the video purposes.
Forward and find your speaker for this issue.
In reality, I really don't get no. I don't care. You do what you do. But nah, I don't think it should be socially acceptable.
Thank you. I'm wearing a woman's sweater right now. This is from Brandy Melville. But background, in my culture, like I'm Native Hawaiian, men have traditionally worn skirts. If we go back to other cultures, Japan, long gowns. Traditionally, men have been seen in history to be wearing the same clothes that women do now, and America is a much younger society than any of these cultures that have dated back thousands and thousands of years.
Okay, so first I'd like everyone to take a second and take a look at the fellas and what they're wearing over there. Let's be so real right now. How are they going to argue about what fashion? Yeah, about what fashion is supposed to mean in a manly sense or traditional sense?
It's the Scotland and in India they wear dhotis. They're not wearing skirts because they think they're a woman. Here in America, that's the reason that they're wearing skirts. Is because they are trying to project that they are a female or the opposite sex or gender fluidity or any of that, and it's just nonsense. No,
again, it depends. It depends on your intention.
That was it. Absolutely.
If your intention is to be feminine, right? Obviously, it's not right.
Society to tell us what to do, bro, right? I thought we were all about like the government not interrupting.
When it comes to just masculinity in general,
this
like,
been so all over the place, though,
for your
man.
wife, you protect her. You should be a pillar. Any sign of like wearing a skirt or something like that, like obviously, bro, like that's it's not the move.
This is kind of
is it just talking in their 2 circles and then it going random?
In terms of how we dress, how we conduct ourselves in public. I think most men look at what a man is supposed to dress like and look at that and see, well, now I have to justify the difference between that and me.
Clothing is not gendered. We make it gendered. Anything that we're wearing could be a woman's whatever. So we put titles on things, and I got a feeling nobody over there is gonna have any argument against any one of us.
The progressive men are gonna say it doesn't matter what.
My fault. I had to laugh, bro. I had to laugh,
this.
bro.
In the same vein, they would say it doesn't matter what language you speak. It doesn't matter what religion you speak. And as traditional men, we disagree with that. We want to have a cohesive society that we speak similar things, we believe similar things, we have a sense of community in all of the things that we wear. What they're saying is actually the anti-social stance, where everybody does what they want and nobody has a sense of community. So we need to hit on that. Whoever speaks, not just about the skirt, because the skirt it's the detail, and that's unimportant.
We are rooted in some kind of greater faith that
he might be a decent debater. That last person.
He is under God. He is serving his family, and he is the creator of his society and the perpetuator of said values.
Yo, it's simple, bros.
He went
we should also talk about what does it
Christian
look
perspective
like
and
if
prejudice.
it's not socially acceptable. What does that mean? Point out how in practice, if it's not socially acceptable, that means we're shaming people, we're bullying people, we're excluding people, and I don't think anyone agrees that's a good thing.
Who wants to speak? Okay, then I feel comfortable. We have to take it a vote. We want to know who wants to. I mean, I will. Okay, all in favor? Juma?
Everyone for Riley. Who votes for Riley? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think that's already a majority.
One and done, guys. One and done. It is Riley.
All right, both sides have chosen.
Okay,
speakers,
so they.
Forward, Juma.
It's a little organized. I'm like, damn, this bit all over the place. Juma and Riley, they're gonna be the ones talking about it.
Should it be socially acceptable for men to wear skirts? got 8 minutes to find a
So
middle
it's
ground
just
between
traditional
choosing-
men versus
Well, I believe that men can wear whatever they want.
conservative.
And pertaining to skirts, particularly, I am a native Hawaiian
And they vote
person.
away.
Traditionally, in the culture that goes further back than America itself, men wear skirts. Japan, men wear long gowns.
It's
you know,
not, it's not called a
kilts.
skirt though, specifically.
I
It's
know,
called
but
something
again,
else.
it's just different
Like, I'm
cultural
Muslim,
norms.
I wear a thobe sometimes.
Yes, but it's
Like some
cultural
cats in the
norms.
military. I've roomed with guys in the military, and they say like I had to shoot the dude in the dress. So it's like, nah, like, do I take it personal? No. That's just according to that group of people, that's what they call it, right? Like, I wouldn't call a kilt a skirt.
Okay.
No, that's a cultural symbol. What a skirt means in today's society is different. But go ahead, I'm sorry for cutting you off.
I mean, yeah, like I was saying, traditionally, cultures that go further back, where clothing only has the meaning that we set to it. So, you know, if I someday decide that your skinnier pants are feminine because I got baggier pants, right?
Yeah.
Then I can do I get to ridicule you for that? Do I get to outcast you for that? That's just my question. Again, going back.
So what's the
why is
question
it
you
not
would like to ask me?
why is it not socially acceptable?
What it represents is that's femininity, yo. Like there's no question about it. Like if you're a dude walking around in a black leather skirt, like you're saying a lot. Like Jaden Smith is one of them cats that was on Vogue. Like like we've seen what a skirt represents as a man, at least in North American culture and even some Asian cultures. Like I've been to South Korea. There are a lot of hyper feminine men out there. The only thing that I didn't see in South Korea was cats putting on makeup in the mirror. But for some reason, whenever I go outside, I see hella cats wearing makeups, foundation, eyeliner, all that stuff.
So femininity is negative for men to
Man, I got a
express
wife, homie. Like,
yeah,
nah,
but is
like-
it
like,
okay
man,
to
like-
express feminine things? What do you think about my nail polish? What do you think about my
Like
skinny
me
watch?
personally, bro, I ain't rocking like
Okay,
that.
that's cool. That's great. But I am. So is there anything wrong with that?
That's a feminine trait
Yeah.
that maybe you want to exude
Okay.
about yourself.
Okay.
Now, like if we walk down the street, like I may interact with you a little bit
Yeah.
differently just because like I see
Why?
the fact that you're wearing nail polish.
What does that mean? Like,
well,
would you?
generally, bro, like whenever cats are like wearing nail polish,
Yeah.
they're a little bit more hyper feminine.
Okay.
They may try to hit on you or just other stuff in general.
Okay.
So it's like.
So you're afraid?
No, I'm not afraid.
Even outward expression of femininity does not define sexuality. I mean, like there's a lot of straight guys out there, a lot of people who are in like emo punk scene wearing black nail polish for fun. People who wear lots of rings, completely straight, and it
But
doesn't
it's
matter.
the representation though of what that
What
means.
does that mean?
So like a guy wearing like he's obviously counterculture, right?
Yeah.
Like if he's like the emo punk
Yeah.
kind of guy. Also like borderline like devil worship at times.
Devil worship.
Yeah,
Well,
like
Hey,
clearly associated.
they snap whatever, bro. You than what you call it, bro.
A
Ain't
skirt
gonna
is
lie.
indicative of what a masculine man should represent in today's society. We got a lot of over feminization of a lot of guys. Like being a solid man that your wife can look to, or whoever that you're taking care of can look to and be like, yo, that's my pillar. Like if something going wrong in my life, they got me. And if you're walking around wearing a skirt, bro, like, okay, there might be cats that can walk around wear a skirt and they solid to the people that they can take care of, right? But the exception isn't the rule. Most cats walking around in a skirt, bro, they're not super breaded up. They're just cats trying to express themselves sexually because they've given up on the financial part.
I mean, I feel like a lot of people who express like
Like, it's
feminine
easier-
traits,
nah,
like
it's easier-
That boy snapping.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of people who
Like,
express
he
feminine
doing foul
traits,
with the
and
debate.
have been, in the media for wearing skirts. Harry Styles is the biggest example. You think he's not breaded up? You think Young Thug is not breaded up? Like people like that.
Yeah, but at what cost though? Like now you're starting to tap into the fact of like, nah, like it's pretty obvious and it's out in the open now that a lot of these rappers, a lot of these cats grabbing ankles. These same dudes that wear skirts are the same ones that were popping up at the Diddy parties. They holding hands with Diddy, calling him daddy.
I mean, again,
Like,
this
come
kind
on,
of just
man.
goes back
That
to the
boy
argument
snapping, bro. Hold on, that boy snapping.
that gay people are groomers
Nah,
and they're
and then on
they're
top of that, bro, like I get
that's-
it, bro. Like I get like it's a cool piece of clothing. Like my pops, he owned a fashion label. He did it in the '90s, where he exclusively designed women's clothing out of Egyptian silk. I totally get it. From a fashion perspective, for a woman, like bro, it's amazing. Like bro, I think a woman looks good in a maxi skirt. But I'm saying I don't think a dude should be walking around rocking that.
And I guess my question to you to dig deeper is, should this be, mandated? Should you, bully people who are wearing skirts?
It shouldn't be open, common practice being taught to kids like, hey, bro, go to school wearing a skirt. Like, I'll tell you right now, like, the time me growing up in East Oakland, you go to school wearing a skirt, it's going to be rough for you.
I mean, I'm not going to
Like, it's gonna
disagree
be
with
real
you on
rough.
that, but we should break down that stigma of people having to be scared of what they
Not scared,
choose to
not
wear.
scared.
No, because if, like you said, I should be scared coming, to where you're saying wearing a skirt or feminine attire or accessories or anything like that. So should people have to fear for self-expression?
So I'll explain to you this, right? Like, I was a shooting specialist at Banana Republic for almost 2 years, right? And like, dude, like, I see a whole bunch of cats walk in there, different arrays, different budgets, you know what I'm saying? And I'm helping them get to where they gotta get. More than likely, man, like, the cats that I saw wearing skirts, man, those ain't the kind of guys that, like, the cat like me would want to rock with. Like, the cats that I rock with, they're solid through and through. Like, I'm a business owner. I'm also a professional fighter. So it's like, nah, bro, like, just that kind of energy, it's not conducive for me to be around, because I need to cultivate a certain kind of mindset, a certain kind of atmosphere around myself.
That boy snap.
Achieve what I believe is peak to what I need to be.
Okay, so Riley, based on kind of what you're hearing coming from Juma, what do you think is a middle ground statement that you think you could both agree on, or that you want him to agree on?
I would like for you to agree on that men should be able to express themselves. In fact, anybody should be able to express themselves however they want, skirt, nail polish, whatever, and that it should be.
We're focused on
Okay,
skirt, not the nail polish.
Men should be able to wear a skirt, and it can have a positive stigma around it if they so decide.
If culturally they come from a culture in Muslim tradition, right? There's this wrap that you can
No,
wrap
I'm not even
around
talking
your
about
waist.
that.
Some people would call that a skirt. So like that kind of cultural thing, no problem. But we're talking about North American problems. We're not talking about every other place.
So what's the middle ground that you think?
The middle ground
Riley?
is culturally. If that's where your family is from, rep where your family from. Rep your culture, rep your set, whatever it is, right? But you as a man, if that's something that you want to do, bro, by all means, bro. Just not that close to me, though. It's good.
Well, I disagree. I think that men should be able to express themselves however they want, and that's it. I don't think there should be any, especially clothes.
But what I'm hearing is, even if you don't agree that it should be, that you think it's socially acceptable, I have heard you say that men should be allowed to wear skirts if that's how they want it. That's what they want to do.
If that's what bro wants to do, by all means. But I'm saying from like a cultural, religious perspective, it's not conducive to what a good nation trying to bring stronger individuals into the world should be doing.
See, there's a background to this. It's not because you just don't like the clothes, right? What do you think? Like, I don't understand that you think it makes someone less of a man, less masculine, and that in turn makes them weaker for wearing a skirt.
In North American culture, I do not believe that it's acceptable for a man to wear a skirt. I'm not going to find a middle ground in between on that.
I'd like to propose that it's okay for a man to wear whatever he chooses.
If that's what you believe, I respect you enough to agree with you on that part. But me personally, like you as an individual, if you want to do that, by all means, bro. But nah, not for North American culture. It means something different here.
So is that you saying that that doesn't work as a middle ground statement?
No, we're not going to find a middle ground.
Okay. I think we can leave it at that. We gave it a good try. Shake hands and let's start.
I still respect you, though. Handle your business.
You said we ain't finding no middle ground. That's not acceptable, man.
We did not find a middle ground.
Bro say, I ain't been there, man.
For giving it a try.
We could do whatever we want. We could do whatever we want.
Does society need more trad wives or girl bosses?
Wait, do society need more trad wives or girl bosses? Shoot, I don't know what trad wives is and girl bosses. So if girl bosses is the ones who don't understand they don't need a nigga, I'm like that. Yeah, boss, man. Trad wives gotta be traditional wives. Okay. Come on, Fliss. We cooking now. Society need more. Dang, that's a good question. I don't know. I really don't care, to be honest. My girl, if I could choose what, it'd be traditional. But I think she'd pick traditional anyways. But it's not my choice.
These terms.
Okay, so a girl boss is like a girl who like slays the house.
And they got this question for them to answer. Like, come on, these dudes, bro.
And the trad wife is what? Traditional.
But I mean, it's a good question too. You know, it's the type of junk the internet be wanting to hear. The
being
back
a
and
CEO
forth,
or doing whatever. It's just an empowerment of doing what they want to do, being able to choose that, you know, the best choice for that relationship is to stay at home and take care of a kid, whether that's the man or the woman or whoever in the partnership, or to go and work.
I don't care if she's traditional or trad. She's got to follow my program and my rule as a man. And what I'm saying is she can go and be a boss at the job, but when she comes home, she's going to take that shirt or hat off, and she's going to follow my lead and follow what I have to say, because I'm the man. She's got my name. She's got my ring. She's under my roof.
But it's all respect.
No, yeah, of course. As far as traditional wives, I mean, my wife kind of fits that mold. She does work from home, but I was in the military for over a decade, and so I was the sole provider, and she would stay at home and raise her kids, and that's just really worked for us. So I also have a 16-year-old daughter that I'm also raising to be a traditional wife.
Can we get a show of hands of folks who think they're a good fit for this? 1, 2, 3.
A lot of times, whether a woman should be a stay-at-home wife or whether she can like work and do other things in society is kind of a cloaked sexist argument. And
Roddy
so
White versus the Saints.
Whether or not a man.
Let me worry about that later. My fault.
Relationship, you know, who's the stay-at-home parent, who's working, should be a function of the individuals, and should not be a function of us doing these, you know, gender role-based prescriptions.
I'm caught between him and him, but the most important question for me is, are you paying all the bills for your home?
The girl bosses have been detrimental to society, and how trad wives have actually helped build the family and through homemaking raise up the kids instead of them going out to the public school system or being raised by strangers, because the girl bosses are too busy working to care about their kids.
Traditional wives is outdated. We find that women who have leadership roles do have higher success, arguably, than men, because they get people to work together better, I feel. Men, it's about competition.
In like modern society, most physicians are women, most lawyers in America are women, the most educated people out of men and women are women. They attend school at higher rates, they graduate at higher rates.
The capability women have to raise children, the innate ability that my mother has, the connection she has with me, is something that is very important, and I feel like girl bosses lack that.
If you're gonna say that the woman's duty is to serve the man, say it just as much conviction that it's the man's job to serve the woman.
Isn't the question we need more trad wives versus girl boss? Like, that's the question, right? And so, like, I would advocate for that, you know?
We gotta vote. Let's just vote.
How much time? I vote Anthony.
Anthony, sure.
Anthony. Raise your hand for Anthony.
Steve, vote for Steve? 1, 2, 3.
I'm gonna vote for myself.
Well, all right. Well, I'm gonna assume everybody's voting for themselves. Votes for Jay. 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. There we go. It's yours.
All right, both sides have chosen a speaker to debate this prompt. So let's bring forward Anthony and Greg. Greg, Anthony, the question was, does society need more trad wives or girl bosses? I'll let you take it from here.
I definitely think that society...
8 minutes to debate this prompt.
Putting women in the workplace is actually a failed feminist movement, which minimized wages for men, and then it gave the government free control over the children, right, through a public education system, and I think that that's also why we have a lack of masculinity in society. So.
Okay. Yeah, so there's 3 claims there. There was the government controlling the children.
That's not what I said.
And then the wages being stolen from men.
I didn't say it was stolen.
Oh, sorry. How did you phrase it?
No, you said it was like minimizing wages for men.
Minimizing. Okay, yeah, sorry. Causing an impact on men. And what was the first one?
It was moving women to the workplace.
Moving women, okay, yeah. So there is no statistically significant difference between the cognitive abilities of men and women. You can obviously find an outlier study or two that says something else.
Sure.
And so
that's not what we're debating, though.
Well, no, but it's to, I'm building to my point.
Okay.
Yeah, so in that context, I think we should have a society that empowers men and women equally to pursue whatever works best for them and in their relationship. Like, for example, we have friends who are married, man and woman, and they are both in healthcare, and they both take turns working. Like, dad will work one day, mom will work the other day. And I think it's awesome if we have career opportunities, if we have things like, affordable childcare, paid family leave, anything in society that supports people to make the decision that works best for their family, I think is positive. And I think if we had better options for people to pursue what works for them individually, we would have, as the prompt described it, more girl bosses.
But I think your argument is that if only we were to put women in workplaces, which no one's debating that they shouldn't be. The question is not should we restrict women from doing it, it should be should we have more trad wives, right? And so my argument is that there are studies that show that having, and I can speak personally, I've been married for close to 20 years. I was in the military for a little bit over a decade. I worked, I provided, that's worked for me, that's worked for my parents, that's worked for my grandparents. That's why we're traditional. We carry down these traditions from family to family, and so we see that our children are thriving. I see that my children have a mother at home that loves them and is able to be with them for their school events or for sporting, things like that, and it's worked for us. So the question is, do we need more girl bosses? Do we need more women away from their children? And I just don't think that that's what we need more of.
So if the woman is away from, it's just one parent's at home and one parent's at work, right? That's kind of what we're describing. It's just, so what is the issue with a man being the stay-at-home parent?
Well, I just don't think that's the role of a man. Here's the reality. My wife and I both work from home. I'm out in the field a lot because I'm an independent journalist, so I do travel a lot more for work.
Right.
But we both work from home, and that's actually great too, because then I also get to partake in a lot of the things that we do. So if like my kid has a sporting event 2 p.m., I'm not stuck in the office, I'm able to do that. But going back in where I was deployed for months at a time and having my wife stay at home, I think that it would have been detrimental that not only do my kids have a deployed parent, but they also have a mother that's stuck at work 8 to 5.
Well, definitely. I think that I think we're not necessarily disagreeing there. So what you're describing is, in your situation, it made the most sense to have your wife be a trad wife, right? I'm a millennial and I feel silly saying trad wife. It's not my verbiage. Yeah. Would you agree that it makes sense for us to have those cases where it might make more sense for there to be a girl boss to allowed to happen? Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Sure. Like I think what your argument is that we probably live in a society where women also have to work. And so what I'm saying is, yes, I have a personal bias of why my wife should stay at home, but also there's studies to show that women that tend to stay at home with children tend to have a happier family. They tend to be able to have less divorce rates, for example, as opposed to two people that are usually always at work and they rarely see each other, they rarely spend time with their kids. There's also some studies that show that kids do better in the long run when they have a parent that stays at home, for example.
What's interesting is regarding studies on stay-at-home parenting, on the census, an at-home dad is defined as somebody who has not been in the workforce and not made money over the past 52-week period, over the past year. And so when you look at studies of stay-at-home dads, you miss out on things like, as you mentioned, people who do remote work or people who work part-time. And so I am not as confident as you are in the sort of evidence base for this claim that, stay-at-home dads are somehow detrimental compared to stay-at-home moms. I believe it was the American Psychological Association put out a statement on this where they said that as long as it's a stable, loving household, that's the most, that's kind of the highest bar you have. But so
I'm just gonna pause you because we're out of time, so I want to push you both towards offering a statement that you think
he clicked that bit right on the dot, bit right on zero.
Trad wives and girl boss.
Okay, I think they gonna come to an agreement.
That in a circumstance where it makes the most sense for that family to have a girl boss, we should facilitate that.
I don't agree with that just because
of a girl boss, we should facilitate that?
I don't agree with that just because what you're almost claiming is that the family can only be successful if the woman is a girl boss.
Oh no, that's not what I meant to claim at all. I must have so I'm just trying to say, should we look at people as individuals and look at individual circumstances and then have people do what makes the most sense for their individual circumstances instead of making these broad kind of gender-based prescriptions where it's like, you're a woman, so you should do this, you are a man, or as you do in your own life, it sounds like your situation is not exactly a traditional situation because you are considering your personal circumstances, your personal strengths.
But also studies back that, right? So that's what I was saying, less divorce rates. And then if you want to get into like the intricacies, like, you know, a family that goes to a church every single week has a 50%
He bringing up
chance
statistics
of
like
divorce, right?
he's not
So
even
it's
arguing
just,
his point though.
A little,
he's just throwing up
I guess,
statistics.
difficult to come to the realization of like, it's only if a girl boss was there, right? Because I mean, that is that question after us. Should we have more girl bosses? Not should we allow women to work, which is part of lawful, you know, way of doing things. So I guess I'm just kind of having a hard time with that middle ground.
Yeah, what would yours be?
I think the conversation I've had with a lot of people, progressive men, is that they think that traditional men are just strictly against women working, period. And that's just not my view. I think that the rights are there. My wife works, right? But she works from home. And it doesn't really interrupt the household, you know?
I think I have an idea. So what about we should make it easier for a family to have a girl boss if that works good for the family. Does that make sense?
Or let's flip it and let's make society easier so that the male can work and provide for his family on just a sole income without having to put two working parents and sending their children off.
You know what encompasses both of those?
Sure.
So what I'm hearing is that we both have different ideas about what works best for a family. So maybe a middle ground statement would be, we should structure society in terms of our policies, our safety nets, things like that, so whatever works best for a family is available to that family, whether that's a trad wife or a girl boss in the household.
Let me just, let's empower families to do what's best for them.
Yeah.
It's a little soft. I think we need to address, you know, like the role of women, which is what this prompt is saying.
I mean, hearing all 7 minutes of you, it's just, I wasn't convinced of like why we need girl bosses, right?
Right.
I listened to statistics.
That's why we make individual
right?
decisions. I'm not convinced of anything about your life, but
sure.
I think
even though studies show like it's better for the household.
So my opinion is that,
bro. Bro, he's not debating good at all, bro. The simple middle ground thing you could say, bro, is with the society that we are living in now, I think we both can agree that in situation to situation circumstance, they should decide on whether it be the female be a trad wife or a girl boss, because every dude is not finna be out here getting to that bad. Just like it's a percentage of them that are, it's a percentage of them that ain't. It's some bums out here, and it's some dudes that probably will be a good father, but he a bum when it comes to trying to get that bag. Simple. Let the girl go get the bag. He chill. You know what I'm saying? Might be a happy family. You know what I'm saying? And eventually, he might, all right, let me go ahead and do something, baby girl. You chill with the family. You know what I'm saying? You never know. But this nigga not saying nothing.
We should trust 2 adult people to make a decision about what's
That's just very nuanced, though. It's just it can mean anything, right? Oh, well, you should allow 2 parents to just do drugs all day because it's better for them.
Okay.
You know?
So
it's just too nuanced. What I would say is we can live in a society where people...
I want to go...
I guess girl bosses can thrive legally, and trad wives can also thrive legally. I just think a girl boss can already thrive. It's harder for a woman to become a trad wife than it is for a woman in today's day and age with the current policies to become a girl boss.
Well, what is a version of it you would do?
That we need more trad wives.
You're not giving us anything.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry.
I'm working pretty hard here.
I think we'll just have to. We didn't find a middle ground statement for this one.
Yeah. We didn't come to an agreement, but I like your facial hair.
Thank you.
Okay.
I like your groove.
All right. Nice to meet you, man.
Very nice meeting you.
Yeah.
All right,
And thanks for your
you,
service.
Yeah, of course.
He was working trying to get a middle ground. Dude was kind of ignorant too, though, a little bit.
Further, we want to take
But bro could have like said that statement that he wasn't budging. I could have made him budge.
is an app and website that is on a mission.
I could have made him budge.
Journalism in a time of media bias and misinformation.
My fault.
Which is, are depressed men weak?
Oh.
I would definitely say that depressed men are weak. I was heavily depressed. I'm a cancer survivor. And with that came clinical depression, anxiety disorder. I gave up on life. I didn't want to live. And that's because I was weak.
Okay, let me say my stance too before they say too much, because I just let this nigga talk before I said anything. Are depressed men weak? I'll be on the traditional men's side for the video's sake. But for this answer, I'll be like, heck nah, depressed men ain't weak. I mean, it's depending on what you debate. I'm gonna hear what these niggas say, but it's depending on what you describing as weak. Because weak in general, nah. Bro, it's depressed. It's moments in which you are depressed, bro. It's not something that you like depressed for your entire life. You know what I'm saying? You got a life where you just depressed the entire time. You damn near like a sociopath or something, bro. You like damn near nobody fuck with you. You don't fuck with nobody. Like you damn near a ghost, bitch. It ain't nobody like that, bro. Depressed, man, you be depressed for a time frame. And it don't be your entire life. And then most of the time, it's either you break that bit or, you know what I'm saying? And it's just more of this world right now in today's days. Present day right now, a lot of niggas gotta heal. A lot of people in the world need to heal, bitch. There's so motherfucking many people hurting and just sick and just negative, down, low frequency, low vibrating, and all like even I'm still trying to grow, but everybody, bitch, the whole world need to heal, bitch. No cap. So, but depressed men are weak? Hell nah. If you saying at that moment, yeah, they weak at that moment, but are they weak? Nah.
I'm stronger than ever before.
Bless you for that, brother. You got through that. But what I'm saying is, ultimately, the depression part of it is a weak mindset.
Right, yeah.
So that is weak.
Like when your family member dies, like you
Yeah,
definitely have
you should
time,
be sad,
but like you
right.
shouldn't like label yourself as I'm a depressed person.
Exactly.
Like, I'm going through like a sad state right now. Like it's tough times, but you gotta pull through it, and that's what we all agree on. Is that being strong means coming out of that,
right?
And not like because like killing yourself is the weakest to do.
That type of sentiment saying that like men who have depression are weak leads to men killing themselves. So I want to push back against that. There are so many studies that show that men who hold those types of views.
Oh, he passionate about this bit, bro. He passionate. No cap.
Okay.
He said,
Who else wants to? Both sides will agree. Yes, being depressed is weak, but they're gonna say it's okay to be weak, and I think that we should say it's not okay to be weak, because as men, as a traditional man, it's our job to be strong even when we feel.
Say they doing a side versus
that needs
side.
to be said. Anyway,
It is on some traditional men versus progressive men.
I am a gay man. And
Oh,
my
shit.
experiences within the gay community and the depression that I've gone through is a completely different perspective from a straight
Look at bro face in the back, bro. Look at bro face in the back. Oh my gosh.
And my experiences with I don't agree with that at all. I am a gay man.
Look how fast he said good. And his eyes got wide open, man. Look, bro.
That needs to be said. Anyway, I think we should.
I don't agree with that at all.
Oh.
I am a gay man.
Look at him. Look at him. Them eyes getting big, boy.
And my experiences within the gay community.
Oh my God! Just look at this nigga funny,
Completely
bro.
different perspective from a straight perspective.
Oh my gosh, that nigga funny, bro.
And the things that I've overcome have made me really strong.
I've struggled with depression myself. I have ADHD. I'm neurodivergent, and that does
predispose you to depression, anxiety, and other things. Despite that, I don't feel weak. I was a former top cop. I was the youngest cop in my state. I teach women how to beat up dirtbag men. So I don't feel weak despite having those struggles with depression and anxiety.
It causes men to have this complex that if they aren't enough for their family, if they're not enough for themselves, then who are they going to be enough for? Why are they even here?
If you let your depression win, you're weak. So you could be depressed, but you still go through life. Like if you're just laying in bed all day, then yeah, I would say you're probably weak. But coming from like a biblical standpoint, it says that the righteous man falls 7 times, but he gets back up. You will fall, and so that's okay, but get back up. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah. Good vote.
One who studied about it and is very passionate about this case, and we have another study where this person is traditionally gone through a lot of masculine things, so showing their masculinity and very much
did
so,
they pick,
gives that example.
They better pick bro in the chair, bro.
Chad, raise your hand. Oliver?
He's passionate about that bit though, bro.
Okay,
Pick dude in the chair.
Winner. All right.
Oh, it's dude in the chair in the red.
We're so good at this. Thank you. If only we could
Okay, bet.
Like All right, both sides have selected.
Did they get the passionate dude? They ain't even see it.
Forward, Alex and Oliver.
Okay, and they picked the passionate dude. This gonna be a good one, I think. Let's see.
All right. So the question is, are depressed?
They ain't gonna get no whatchamacallit though. This one might be funny though.
Come to a middle ground statement. You've got 8 minutes. Go for it.
I'll let you go.
Okay, sure, yeah. So, I'm coming from the perspective that I don't think that depressed men are weak. I think that depression is something that needs to be taken very seriously, and I think that statements like depressed men are weak are exactly the kind of rhetoric that perpetuates the problem, that leads to people being stuck, including myself, experienced with depression, being stuck in this type of rut that you can't get out of. And the moment that I kind of like acknowledged to myself what other people were telling me, but I was really like, oh my God, am I a weak man? Am I, somehow lacking in some sort of way? The moment I, put that aside and just was like, no, depression is a mental illness. Once I, got past that and, got the help that I needed, it was really the moment that I started to emerge from that. So I think that type of statement is part of the problem and something that I want to push back
Okay,
against.
but what you would say is staying in a state of depression, I would consider that weak, right? Depression in and of itself isn't weak, but when you label yourself as a depressed person or you let that win you over, that is weakness.
So I would disagree because I think it's important to define problems as what they are. We don't solve cancer by not calling it cancer. We acknowledge that a problem exists, and how we respond to that is very important. But
Hey, that was one of them. Boy, that was one of them. He snuck that bit in there. Or like I've seen it coming because it's like okay, and he said, "Oh, I kind of didn't though." It was like I seen it coming, but it's like a bit. I gotta throw a punch and dodge, baby, because it's like, dang, I ain't see that coming, low key. But I seen it coming.
I don't think saying we shouldn't call people depressed because then they'll know that they're depressed or that they'll rot in that sort of state.
No, but
is
I'm
bad.
saying like labeling yourself as a depressed person, like saying that is part of my identity. If an athlete is injured in that second, I think he's weaker than he normally is. That doesn't mean he's weak overall, but in that second, yeah.
Is it weak to say that he's injured? Is it weak for him to claim, I am currently injured? I want to get better, but I'm currently injured.
No, but he's weak.
For sure, people are definitely in a weaker headspace. But I think, and maybe I'm putting these like prescriptions onto this idea that aren't correct. So when I hear the claim, men who are depressed are weak, I think of, oh, they're less manly. They need to get over it. They need to power through and grit. And it's I heard this from someone who was over there from your side. It's a weak mindset. It's a choice type of thing. And I reject that because it is a clinical diagnosis that people receive when they are depressed.
We all go through states of depression. I think no one here would argue that you're never going to be in a state of depression, right? Things happen where you do feel depressed.
There's depression and then there's people who describe themselves as being depressed. I think it's important to separate those two because you can feel sad. Of course, everyone feels sad. Everyone has mood changes. Depression is clearly defined as persistent, like feeling bad regardless of the things that are going on in your life, even when things are going well.
Right, but I don't think the prompt was saying that.
If everything is going good in life and you is depressed, okay, every effect in life have a cause. And you saying this definition says that no matter the circumstances in life, this person is just depressed. Hell nah, bro. What person have they talked to and they said, nah, everything is going great in my life. I'm just depressed. What? Come on now. Y'all better debate that bit the right way. They ain't even gonna debate that bit the right way, bro. And watch, I'ma peep the junk. And low key in my head, even a lot of the times when we watch junk like this, y'all might not even peep it. But in my head, I be hot as hell. Sometimes I do say it out loud. Like when I be watching videos with my girl, sometimes I do say the junk out loud and shit. But I'm trying to get better at saying that shit on the reaction videos and shit, though, because, you feel me, it's a reaction video. But I be hotter than a bit, because it be like, bitch, y'all, come on, y'all can win this debate like this. I really could be a decent debater. I just don't study things, like how these people be pulling these statistics up like that. They don't be knowing this. It's just, a lot of this shit just like logic. Like, a lot of this shit just like common sense, man. And then using just like real life and principles and morals and values and then perspective at the end of the day, for real.
Man, because I'm weaker. Right? Sure. I'm in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
A squirrel could beat me in an arm wrestling match, right? I don't think anyone here would say I'm less of a man.
Sure.
Right?
Oh, I'm glad that those connotations are not present.
Okay, cool,
in this
yeah.
conversation.
But my stance is you gotta keep on moving. Like you just have to, and you might have to take medication.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not against it. I'm
sure.
pretty sure some
Look
people
at him.
are gonna be against taking medication. But
I'm glad they're not up here.
You have to do what you have to do.
They got
I feel
his
like society most of the time
he was sick.
They say that it's okay to rot in it.
I really don't think that's largely the case. I think it definitely is in some subsets of the internet that you'll find, but I think most people, I think the way we treat mental illness is it's really hard for us to grapple with it because it's not visual. There's this idea that when you break your arm, everyone comes to sign your cast. But when you say you're depressed, they don't know what to do and run the other direction. And I think it's really important to break that type of stigma that mental illness is a real thing. I'm not sure, I don't want to speculate. I'm sure there are some people who don't really think it's a real thing. Oh, you just need to get over yourself. You need to work harder.
I think they could come to a common ground low key though, maybe.
Well, we see it in TV, so we see it all the time, all over the place, where it's like, hey, I can't get up out of bed today. Oh, you know what? Mental health day. I don't disagree, but I think we are, as a society, letting that be a norm and letting that be okay, which I don't think it should be necessarily all the time, because there's times where you have to get something done, and you can't just say like, hey, I'm gonna take a mental health day. Parents, I'm not a parent, but I'm pretty sure parents are here. They are depressed. They have to care for their kids.
Yes, and I think you and I would both agree that like it's
nigga.
a parent or something.
Get that middle ground. Catch that middle ground, nigga.
Mental illness. However, I do think it's very much the case that
y'all know I'm the perspective king, bro. PK.
Yeah.
PK on the perspective king, nigga. I might get that shit tatted on me. The perspective king. That bitch sound like something. PK. PK, bitch.
Is in a weaker mental state
PK.
because they're not able to function.
PK.
As well. Then I guess we agree. But
PK.
that doesn't really get to any of the societal implications.
Damn, that bit ain't going on TikTok.
Between you and me as
and
a
I think we've done that, but I think
man.
we could agree that depression is weakness then.
Okay, so I would agree with your literal.
Okay, hold on. Look, they got some agreements and all that. Hold on. Like, y'all, come on, y'all can win this debate like this. They talked to and they said, nah, everything is going great in my life. I'm just depressed. What? Come on. What person have they talked to and they said, nah, everything is going great in my life. I'm just depressed. What? Come on now. Y'all better debate that bit the right way. They ain't even gonna debate that bit the right way, bro. And watch, I'ma peep the junk. And low key in my head, even a lot of the times when we watch junk like this, y'all might not even peep it. But in my head, I be hot as hell. Sometimes I do say it out loud. Like when I be watching videos with my girl, sometimes I do say the I had to get the clip right for real. I ain't gonna lie. But I'm trying to get better at saying that shit on the reaction videos and shit though, because you feel me? It's a reaction video. But I be hotter than a bit, cause it be like, bitch, y'all come on, y'all can win this debate like this. I really could be a decent debater. I just don't study things like how these people be pulling these statistics up like that. They don't be knowing this. It's just a lot of this shit just like logic. Like a lot of this shit just like common sense, man. And then using just like real life and principles and morals and values and then perspective at the end of the day, for real.
I'm weaker, right? Sure. I'm in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
What person have they talked to and they said, nah, everything is going great in my life. I'm just depressed. What? Come on now. Y'all better debate that bit the right way. They ain't even gonna debate that bit the right way, bro. And watch, I'ma peep the junk. And low key in my head, even a lot of the times when we watch junk like this, y'all might not even peep it. But in my head, I be hot as hell. Sometimes I do say it out loud. Like when I be watching. What person have they talked to and they said, nah? My fault, y'all.
The problem is there are a lot of connotations. When you say something's weak, it's like, oh, you know, it should be looked down upon. That person is doing something that...
No, because I'm weak, so I don't want to be looked down upon.
I agree, and I'm very glad. But I think if someone were to like look at you, oh yeah, you're weak. That would be, but it wouldn't just be a literal factual statement about the nature of the world as it exists. It would be a normative judgment upon you as a person. In many cases, if someone calls disabled people weak, would you just be like, yeah, we are? Or would you be like, you're kind of an asshole, man?
It depends a lot on context. I agree with you, but
sure.
Well, then we would have to take everyone's opinion on it and stuff like that.
Of course. Just we're up on time, so I want to push you guys towards offering a middle ground statement.
Yeah.
You know, and just to reiterate the question, you know, it was, are depressed men weak?
I'll let you.
Sure. So here's, I guess, and this is why I would say I don't want to use the word weak. The use of the word men in the phrase makes it very gendered. If it was just, are depressed people weak, then maybe I'd give a little more credence to this idea that we're just talking about descriptively what is factually the case. But I think when you insert men in there, there's this idea that depressed men are weak because men shouldn't be weak. Men shouldn't be burdened by their emotions or burdened by illness of the mind. It's just, you know, something they have to power through. So because of that, here's the middle ground that I guess I would propose to you, and you're welcome to respond to me on this. Depression does not inherently make someone weak. Men are not inherently weak because they're depressed. However, if you let that consume you entirely and you shackle other responsibilities, or you claim that you have no responsibility for your own mental illness. Oh yeah, you know, I'm
okay. This a valid one.
Tweet anti-Semitic things all over the internet. I'm not talking about anyone in
Where,
particular.
let's reel the.
But you know, so that's kind of the middle ground I would propose. I don't know if that's too long.
That's valid.
Okay, can we agree on the middle ground that if you're a man and you allow your depression to win you over, then you're weak?
I allow you to win you over. I think there's a lot of different things that are going on there. I also would kind of want to, if possible, degender that idea. If anyone,
we're on a gendered episode.
Well, we are. You're right. You're right that we are. You are correct that we are. However, I think it is true because men exist, and because men exist, women also exist. Women don't just not exist because we all happen to be in a room with.
Yeah,
very
but
few
we're
of them.
not talking about women in this instance.
I don't think that's necessarily the case because we live in a society that is inherently gendered. So
no, I agree with you.
Okay.
But this episode.
Of course.
Okay, so Alex, what would your statement be if you want to give us a draft?
A middle ground, I would say, if you succumb to your depression, then you are weak. If you allow your depression to take over your life and you don't seek help and you kind of just use it as an excuse for your life or for your poor choices, and I would say that's weak.
And I have one more question for you. A lot of men who succumb to their depression are ones who end up with a bullet in their head. Are they weak in your mind?
I would say so, yes.
You'd say they're weak. Men who kill themselves because of their depression are weak.
Yes.
And I think that exact idea is what leads more men to kill themselves.
Well, okay, so I don't, you know, there's a strong disagreement there, and there's a lot to discuss there, but let's try and make our way back to what do you think is something that he would agree on? You know, so he said letting depression take over your life is not a good solution, so do you have like a counter?
Do you think it makes I'm just curious, do you think it makes a man weak to seek medical remedies or to seek out treatment in that way?
No, I'm in a wheelchair right now. I have to see a doctor every 3 months. So.
Okay, I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
If the pills are helping you in that, then yeah, go for it. If you need to get out of the woods, seek Christ, whatever it is that you need to do, do that.
Yeah, and I don't think I really disagree with any part of that.
Okay, so it sounds like we're landing on if a man is depressed, he should seek treatment.
Yes.
Yeah.
So men who are depressed should seek treatment.
Men should seek treatment.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you to Alex and Oliver. Did come to a
they
middle ground.
came to a middle ground, but it's like a little. That was a soft. That all about a middle ground.
Should men spend their
but they got one.
Porn? All right, let's. Get
Whoa! Whoa! They went to a whole nother topic, man. Okay, should men spend their time watching porn? Traditional men, progressive men. I'll be on the traditional men side for the sake of the video. My answer to this. Hell nah. They shouldn't be. If you in that mode, you should be making love to your girl or to your partner, you feel me? To your wife, whatever she is to you. You should be making love to her. When you go into that phone, boy, that's because you can't get that bit in real life. You would rather have it in real life. Or even if it's just a type of way or certain things that to get done and stuff. Sometimes, man, you just got the female you just gotta get, you either gotta get the right female or you either gotta get your female on the right page with that junk. Because there is only one reason why you would actually want to watch it instead of do it. If it's a fantasy in your head that you not getting in real life, that's because you need to get it in, you want to get it in real life. But that fantasy or whatever you watching is, you know what I'm saying? You feel me? So you got to do things to make that happen in real life. And certain things is wild, but you know what I'm saying? That's that individual case. I ain't going to talk on all the wild stuff, but it's no reason to be watching that bit.
Porn.
But let me see. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. Let's see what they talking about.
It's an unhealthy practice, and as someone who is a healthy human being and can make observations with his eyes, understands that this is not neurologically beneficial, so maybe I don't even know why it's political. I think everyone's going to agree on this.
So I think the worst part about it is breaking down the relationship between men and women, making sex something that is cheap and carnal and not something that's spiritual and deep and something that exists on a higher level than just physical.
Yeah, he snapped.
That's the other thing I think that
they need to let him.
It's just sex, and it's just, you know, it's just ejaculating. It's just something that you do. It's something primal. We just do it, but it's not.
Who on the progressive side is leaning, thinks that porn is a negative?
It depends on the individual.
And then who thinks it's a positive?
Both my hands up.
Okay, so there's actually a little bit of a split here.
I don't think it's either one.
Yeah, like it's one of those things where it's like, it is a form of expression if the two people are consenting adults that are being.
See, they just in the group. They don't be with none of this. They just with the group. They probably got everybody in their family that's with it. My fault. I had to finish sending my brother a message back.
Appropriate environment. Go ahead. Make all the porn you want. In a grander sense, it's a moral panic that men are constantly obsessed with pornography. There's a small segment of the male population that has that problem, like any other small segment of the population that's addicted to something. This is a larger extent of the moral panic of men losing their quote-unquote masculinity. It's a non-subject. Some people are going to watch porn. They will be corrected by their friends and family as they move through
he need to be the one who talking, man.
Shouldn't watch it, but it
that boy just snapped. That boy just snapped for real, man.
That's not the prompt. Let's not even get into it.
Yeah, that's not the prompt.
If you're spending all your time not working, not actually being with your kids, you're just watching porn, you're kind of a piece of garbage dad, right?
Porn is an anathema to actual tradition. You can't be a traditional man if you are watching porn. Porn also just poisons the soul of a man, and it's just absolutely degenerate. It has no place in society. There's no benefit to it.
It projects a fantasy onto women. I think there's unrealistic expectations. Men are not going to get the right idea of how sex should be done, consent, lube.
Where we're going to disagree and where we're going to clash is that they want to ban it, and I am going to stand by us and our First Amendment rights to allow pornography.
All right, Brandon.
John.
What would you say in the argument that they're going to present, probably, which is it's not hurting anyone, it's only for my good, and it's only to the people who are going to actually speak?
We all agree that we live in a spiritual world. There's a spiritual reality. It degrades women. It degrades men. It's degrading to everybody. It does perpetuate violence. So it is damaging people. I would never buy that argument, right?
All right, raise your hand for Ben.
All right, both sides.
Bro, what?
For this
they picked the wrong person, bro. They picked the wrong person, bro. They been finna be Buddha. They ain't gonna be no agreement. John finna low-key kill dude, though. John might make an agreement. John low-key snap.
Please go ahead, because I have a feeling that you know where we all stand on this one. So
I don't think anyone should be watching pornography. Yeah, look, I don't think you should mandate what people are watching. That said, if it is two individuals that are both consenting, that are well paid, that feel completely comfortable participating in the filming of sex in exchange for money, then please
have at it, as long as it falls under the definition of pornography as set by the Supreme Court of the United States. By definition, it is, by the way, something that you see and know that it is.
Nigga.
We're saying that, yes,
Nigga. And we're gonna talk that much. I gotta talk.
In the same way that you really shouldn't drink alcohol, or you shouldn't smoke pot, or you shouldn't smoke cigarettes, or you shouldn't eat fried food. All of those things are also very bad for you, both on a cognitive level and also spiritually.
Yeah.
I think you're agreeing with it. Ultimately, you're saying men shouldn't be spending their time watching porn.
Absolutely.
But you don't think that it should be illegal, right?
No, we have the First Amendment.
And
in
while I
America.
might think that maybe it should be, right? That's not what I'm going to argue here. I'll argue that porn is destructive to men and women.
Completely
It's destructive to anybody involved in the sphere. What other things could be doing as a man? Hang on.
Okay, great.
What other things could you be doing as a man that porn takes away from? You could be working. You could be taking care of your kids. I think every man's goal should be to create a productive relationship with his wife so that he can have a productive relationship with his children and a stable family unit. Porn completely gets in the way of all of that.
I completely agree. Porn does get in the way of interpersonal relationships. That's it. Just wanted to call you up and not to be a prick, but I'm going to be a prick. You said porn is harmful to everyone involved. How is porn?
I mean the people involved in the actual action of either the doing the sex or the watching it.
So you're against sex work? Totally, that should be illegal.
Sure.
You're against the filming of it, all that sort of stuff. You're against.
Yeah, I mean, look at what
and
it
so
does.
You're against the Supreme Court's interpretation of the First Amendment. Just to be clear, that's correct.
Well, I'm against certain types of speech. I mean, the Supreme Court also said you can't say certain things.
But the Supreme Court has actually weighed in on this issue, and the Supreme Court says porn is a legitimate expression of speech. Partake in it whether or not you want to.
Hey, the Supreme Court gets stuff wrong all the time, doesn't it?
I completely
There was a
agree.
time when they said, hey, black people not very important, right?
Totally,
And
and
so
they
we can
corrected
agree
it.
that they're not always right. I think you and I can agree that porn's not the kind of thing that people should be spending their time in.
I completely agree.
Millions and millions of
Bro, go into the other. This is what I'm talking about. Go. You said it already too. Go into the other thing, the alcohol, the other addictions. People shouldn't be doing crack. It's a lot of millionaires, people who getting bread right now that's doing crack, doing coke. I ain't gonna say too much, but I can say a little bit more. You feel me? But come on, bro.
spending their time in it, and we see what happens from it. It creates an economy where women are being exploited, right?
In certain cases, yes.
I mean, if you can make money from it, okay, cool. But you know how many women are like, well, I could
I
just make a
understand, but
quick
let me
buck
just
on
explain.
OnlyFans, so I
I'm
might
sorry
as
to
well
interrupt.
do
I'm
it.
just
They
sorry
don't
to
want
interrupt.
to be doing it most of the time.
I agree. Some of the people involved in OnlyFans do not want to participate. Let's use the example of Andrew Tate and all of his webcam girls. Those webcam girls were not participating for their will. They were captured in some way. They were ensnared by the lover boy model. So that type of porn is very, very bad. But someone in their bedroom, as a consenting adult, selling images of themselves is totally fine and is protected under the First Amendment. But again, brother, I don't understand what your point is. You're going, porn is stopping us hanging out with our wives. That is a fault of the man not turning the computer off and going and spending time with his wife because he's addicted.
I would
So
agree it
shouldn't
is
he
a
be
fault
given-
of the man as well, but a man can engage in something wrong while it being his fault to engage in that, but also the thing he does was wrong.
I want to, if you're comfortable, like, do any of you want to speak from personal experience if it's informed your views on porn?
Yeah, I mean, again, I think most men have had experience with porn, right? And it's not something that you're gonna go shouting that you're happy about. Hang on,
No,
that
no,
you're
I-
gonna go around. Okay, we can probably agree on that, right? I would say that many men, I think the average age now for kids getting engaged in porn is like 9 or 10. It's extremely young, right? They get hooked at that young age, and then all of a sudden it blows up. I've had experiences in relationships when I've watched porn. I've had experiences in relationships where I haven't. And I'm married now, and I don't do that anymore, and it's dramatically a better experience for myself and my wife.
I completely agree with you that it's better when you're not doing when you're not doing it than when you are watching porno. It's better for you because of all of those. The false perception of reality that porn offers is very unhealthy to human beings. You would agree, and I would
That's
also.
one of them.
I
Yeah, I mean,
completely
there's like
also agree. By
a
the way,
billion.
that is
There's a lot more
Listen, we can
problems.
broaden this out and
Yeah,
get
yeah.
crazy. You know what I mean?
Let's workshop what's a sentence as brief as possible that you want to offer as the middle ground.
Okay, I would say porn is not the kind of thing that's conducive to a healthy relationship or a healthy life in general, and that while it is legal across states, we should do what we can to minimize illegal activity on the sites themselves and also engagement for minors.
I completely agree with everything Ben has said. Not only am I in the middle ground, give me a corncob pint and a buckle shoe. I'm a trad male, boys.
Who found John?
I completely agree with everything you're saying. It is bad for you. It is bad for relationships, it's bad for women, and it's bad for men. It needs to be protected against kids. Kids should also be educated as to that porn is a fantasy, that it isn't real. That is not what a man looks like. That's not like a woman looks like. If you get into a van in Miami, that is not the result. If you nothing like that. And to that, I would say we need more education about sex. We need more education about our bodies. We need more education about social
Hey,
media
John,
and the internet.
snap.
So when a 9 or a 10-year-old is presented with a web page that says, don't click on this, they go, oh, this is something I'm not supposed to look at. And that goes to parenting. So I think we, in a macro sense, absolutely agree. But those are all details to the main meme of, I think porn should be available. I don't think anyone should watch it. That's the...
So the middle ground is no, men should not be spending their time watching porn.
I hope you're all sitting down. I also agree. No, men should not spend their time watching porn.
Awesome, okay.
Well done, brother. That was so fun.
Hey, that boy John snapped no
Thank
matter
you,
what.
John. We were able to come to a middle ground on the last prompt. Our
Two
next
in a
prompt,
row.
should men be the leader in romantic relationships?
Naturally, we as men
I
are actually
agree.
the leaders.
I agree. I think so. That's just like a traditional man value. That what put me in the traditional man value. I think men should be the leader in a romantic relationship. I don't think a woman should be leading the relationship. It just our bodies don't make us like that. Maybe if God was to do like a switcheroo in the bodies, then yeah, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? You would want the man to protect, provide, and I don't know. Let me see what they say and call all the shots though. At least in my personal relationship, yeah, you feel me? That's the only thing is like I gotta first be able to show in my actions that I could be the leader, but you shouldn't be picking me if you don't think I'm the leader anyway. But I think most females wouldn't even pick a dude if he wasn't the leader anyway. It's just when the
Do a
let me
better
see.
job just,
I'ma just let them talk. That's just where I stand.
And then when I seen the inverse of that, it doesn't really go well. Women they're not naturally leaders, and that's completely fine. They're more submissive, and we're more dominant. We make better choices.
I mean, that's like also scientifically proven what you just said. Men produce less oxytocin and the love hormone, right? It allows people to be more empathetic, and men sit more in that more dominant role in terms of that leadership.
It's equal. The way that we kind of have marriages in our society now is that it's a partnership, and maybe sometimes what that looks like is that one of them does take a lead on certain things, whereas the other one's taking the lead on others. And you can have that balance, and I'm sure that there's some decisions that one partner is more qualified to, have expertise in, and that's gonna go both ways.
Being able to share leadership and not leadership, it doesn't have any impact on masculinity. It does empowering women to take lead does not make you less masculine.
We're talking about romance. So we're looking at the divorce and women cheating. We got to look at why they're doing it, because a lot of men don't have what we call the game. They don't know how to just be romantic. It's not about just romance. It's about listening. It's about being sensual, sexual, romantic, kinky, dirty, listening, connecting, going deep in the mind.
As a man, you should have the ability to be able to cultivate your woman. That's sexually, mentally, and spiritually. And for me, like, if you're able to do all three of those things, you good.
I used to be a gigolo. I used to fuck with women that knew let me honey.
Yeah, that's different. That's different. So in order to be your job as a man is to be the leader in your relationship. You need to provide, maintain, and take care of your woman.
I'm a child of divorce, first off. So my mom, yeah. That's why we're depressed. I grew up largely with my mom. My mom took on both roles. She took on, the leadership role, and I was with my dad on the weekends. He provided what he could provide. with the short time I had with him.
I think that women are just happier in male-dominated relationships. Like, they just prefer to be just taken care of. And
Is Miss Sandry more
when we
loud
see that
than
different power
Sandry?
dynamic-
What you just said is really problematic. You go, they want this, women want this. And you're
No, I'm saying no, but statistically we see.
We ain't gonna watch the
divorce rate
Elon Musk segment. We'll probably just finish this last one. This last segment.
I have had to go to therapy because I am just.
I don't even know what this other one is.
Unsympathetic
Misogyny.
person. My wife's like, you don't show a lot of affection. You don't show a lot of. You see, you were talking about kind of like you got to be kinky and stuff like that. I necessarily don't agree with that. But right, I don't think it needed to go there. But I think it is. I think it is important to understand like that's what romance is, and so who's going to be the better situated to talk about that?
We're all focusing on sex when it's not about
think
sex.
so. Why are you seated?
Because it's just too many people.
Too many people, yeah.
That, and it's like, it goes hard, weird, trash. Honestly, I was joking with one guy. I was like, maybe I should have brought a blue shirt. Like,
Well, can you speak to that a little bit, where you're just feeling like misaligned?
I'm not in a relationship right now, guys, but the two I've been in, both times I was whipped. The relationships did work out for as long as they lasted because I did not take the lead in the role. I let the two women I've been with take the lead. I'm divorced, yes, but it was just because of the circumstances. Yes, she had to move because of a job and I couldn't go with her.
I think it's important that we state that the order of God in Christianity is God over Christ, Christ and man, man over woman, and this is vaguely in Islam. There is something similar in another religions.
Well, it says, "Let us make man."
It is.
Talking about the angels.
He give pastor vibes, but he look like he get drunk all the time for some reason.
I think it depends on.
I don't know what it is. It's just like that nigga get drunk all the time.
Just like control or whatever, like women are supposed to submit, and just like, and I would agree with that statement, but I also think it depends on a man who leads. Like servant-hearted, like I would argue, like a biblical man who he's self-sacrificing, puts the needs of his wife above his own.
The fact of the matter is, in romantic connections with women, there's going to be times that I'm going to need to tell you no, and I'm going to need to control situations that you feel otherwise.
Situations, not her.
Yeah, if you want to go to Walmart at 2 a.m. in the morning because it's 24 hours and you think you're going to be safe, you're not going. So at the end of the day, we as men have to say, oh, you know what? I understand that, but you're not going, and this is the reason why. And guess what? I'll go, because I'm your protector. That's leadership. What I'm saying is these guys.
Oh, we go together.
Like, oh well, why can't they? You know, it doesn't have a study of showing women can't lead just as well as men. This is what they're going to say.
I think the idea of one gender being the only thing that can lead a relationship is just ridiculous. Like, let's be realistic about it. Marriage is considered a partnership. Like, you call it a union, yet you're saying that one person has to lead is ridiculous. You work together. Some person's stronger in other aspects, the other person's strong in the others. You find a partner that you love, a partner that makes you happy, and you two choose to do what makes you happy together. Maybe you find a submissive woman and a dominant man. Great. Maybe you find a submissive man and a dominant woman. Maybe you find two people who are dominant together, submissive together. It doesn't matter. It's about individual happiness. It's about how effective you are in your own life to give yourself happiness.
We have less than 30 seconds.
I think he has a
No,
wife.
I
I think
I
that
got
I have a wife.
I got no mic.
Jeez,
Who cares if you have a wife?
Sure.
Yo. No, I got no, dude, because I can bring them to a middle ground, man. Like I got them on the middle ground.
He got the most votes. He got the most votes.
Nate, raise your hands for Nate. There you got. It's 1, 2. All right, thank you. Kino. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, I think we have. Let's go. Our winner.
Okay, our two sides have chosen their speakers. I sense a lot more tension on this side than typically, but you guys have chosen Nils and Kino.
They couldn't even agree on one. You know this ain't finna be no middle ground.
And be the leader of romantic relationships. Gonna let you guys debate that for 8 minutes, and let's see if we can find a middle ground.
I think men should be the leader in romantic relationships. I mean, I'm married. I've for 8 months, so I'm not quite
my fault,
big
y'all. I had to
experience.
dig
But
it
I think
there.
thank you, I appreciate that.
That one
but I
too,
think
my fault.
the whole idea of men taking the lead in relationships, men should be pursuing virtues, and I think a lot of the things that men are biologically, psychologically, and societally wired to do are things that are more like leadership oriented, so like risk taking, being able to stand up for the common good, doing all these different types of things. And so I think that applies to a romantic relationship because there are going to be instances where a man has to step in and take control and say no and lead, protect, provide, and maintain. And I think those are innate things that we have as masculine men. The other side, I think women tend to feel more protected, and I think that's something that they want. Like, they want to be led. They want to have a man who loves them more than they love themselves. That, you know, the biblical view is like, you should love
They
your wife
can't
as Christ
easily
loved the
come
church,
to a
and so
middle
you
ground
give
here,
your life
but
for that person. So
I think they not
that
just
kind
because of the.
expresses
I don't know.
Well,
They
I see
did
that
pick
when
the
you're talking
red.
about these things,
The
you're talking
traditional
about
man picked a good
generally,
person. I
you're
don't know who
talking
Keno
about your
is. I
personal
ain't
life.
really
This is
listened
how
too
you've
much of
experienced
what
it.
he
This
was
is
saying.
what you view for women and what you view for men.
I don't even remember
I
too
would
much
say
of what
that I don't
Progressive
think that
guys
really
said.
applies when you're talking about the reality that we live in, which is that everybody is different. You can look at any different person, and every person has different thoughts, different ways of living, different ways of reacting. Right. So even if you're a masculine man, maybe you just are lazy, right? Maybe you don't want to take a lead in your
That's true.
relationship. Maybe you like a partner who goes ahead and does their things for you, and you partner with them. That's the idea of the unionship, right? Is that you're a partnership, and that you're supposed to work together. So when we're talking about men assuming these roles, yeah, I agree with you. You said about societally wiring these men and wiring women to feel a certain way. I don't think they're wired that way. I think that they've been reprogrammed that way through movies, through television, through the way that the patriarchal society has existed throughout time. And we're talking about women never being able to work, never being able to vote. Like, this is all stuff that is very, very new to the world in general. So when we're talking about women being able to do
That's
these
real, though. He got a
masculine
big
things,
point.
It's not that they don't have the ability to or that they don't have the desire to. It's that they've never had the opportunity before, and we're trying to get there. We're trying to slowly but surely progress so that way men and women have equal opportunities to do whatever they want. Not be handed a Barbie and not be handed a G.I. Joe, but when you're a child, be able to grab whatever toy you want and have fun and and live your life that exact same way as you get older.
Sure. Yeah. So I brought up the points of being
He going into a whole
biologically wired, and you completely disregarded those two and went straight to the sociological. There are studies that show that men, I mean, we just naturally have more testosterone. That's just the way it is. And psychologically, we are just more wired to be in a hierarchical situations, and you know that requires leadership because the person at the top is the one making the decisions. I'll put it this way: I think men have a strong, soft side, and I think women have a soft, strong side. And what I mean by that is men are supposed to take these things of leadership, but we're also supposed to have empathy. We're also supposed to, you know.
He's snapping. I ain't gonna lie. They both snapping though.
Some of these guys about like men not being able to like share their emotions. I know it is virtuous to show courage, but a deficiency in courage would be something like you're a coward. And whereas on the other side you have an excess of that, which would be recklessness. And I think a man leading in a virtuous state provides the most stable home to raise children, to do all these different types of things.
So what do you mean by virtuous?
Like courage, temperance, fortitude, all these different types of things. We have this like Andrew Tate, like hyper toxic masculinity that I would absolutely reject. But then on the other side, we also have this rapid evolving femininity that's happening. And I'm saying the virtuous path is often in the middle.
If we shift a little bit from kind of this higher level, can you guys speak from personal experiences as to why, you know, have your personal relationships informed your stance on this and why you would make that argument?
Yeah, I mean, I'm stupid. I think a lot.
I'm stupid too, my friend.
Exactly.
We're all stupid.
That's not a great way to start an argument. I think it's the perfect way to start it, John, because I think you're stupid too, John.
Hear that? Look at the whole progressive side laugh. Ain't nobody on the traditional side laugh. That shows you. That shows you how separated this world is, bro. Look at this, bro. And it was funny, bro.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's not a great way to start an argument. I think it's the perfect way to start it, John, because I think you're stupid too, John.
That was hilarious, bro. And look, they all laughing. This shows you something about this world. Other side, nobody. Look, nigga, he hot. Okay, he got a little chuckle though. Oh, I ain't even showing. I'm pointing. Y'all can't even see me pointing. Look, he's sicker than a motherfucker, but he got a little chuckle. Nobody laughing though. That show you something about this world, man.
One thing or another.
Fucked up
maybe we
world
make
we live in,
mistakes.
bro.
Maybe we choose to do something that we're just bad at, or maybe we choose to do something we think we're gonna be good, or we think it's the right decision and it's not. So, for example, you know, I'm not a mechanic. If my girlfriend comes to me to try and figure out how to fix a car, you know, I'll make an attempt with her, but it doesn't mean that I know what best to do. So I'm just gonna go in there with a wrench. The idea is that we try and figure out the best solution together, right? We're trying to make sure that we're doing the best things together. It's not that simple as just, oh, I lead because I, you know, have a thing.
Sure.
Talking from personal experience, the idea of of working together and being a partnership is an incredibly important thing. And I think that goes above just needing to lead, regardless if you're the woman, the man, or you're in a gay relationship, whatever it may be. The idea is that you are in your partnership and you should be working together. And I think that maybe even your religion would say the same thing.
I mean, I agree with most of what you said, but I think at the end of the day, like, there are going to be certain decisions that need to be made, and I think the men have the most capable instinct in knowing that. And granted, they very well could be wrong. So going back to the idea of speaking from personal experience, I mean, my wife and I's marriage functions in a very traditional sense. Like, I'm the head of the house.
Should be back asleep.
Had to get sun right, my fault.
When important decisions come to make, I consult my wife. I really much value her insight, and I really care about her and like what she wants. If it functions where the man lays down his life for his wife, he leads his wife, he puts her needs above his, and the wife submits to the man's leadership, I think that leads to a flourishing relationship. And I'm not saying submit blindly to this controlling man. I'm just saying, no, like, she should submit. I mean, but the man should also be loving her more than he loves himself. So I view it as like a partnership, like you're saying. But at the
I don't think it should be to what he loves himself, though. I don't think he should state it like that, though. It should be. I think everyone, though, should love themselves first. Cause if you don't even love yourself all the way, how you gonna know how to love somebody else? And usually, if it's you not loving yourself first and you loving somebody too much, then you loving yourself. Usually, it's not gonna end right anyways, because you not standing on what's right for yourself. And if you doing what's right for yourself, if this person right for you, then you know what I'm saying, the energy's gonna reciprocate. So I don't think you should say it like that.
Biological, psychological, and yeah, you could argue social. How do you say that word? Societal.
He fucking up. He fucking up.
Impression on romantic relationships, and I'm speaking about marriage in general. But I would obviously, even before we were married,
let's see if they get a middle ground.
Okay,
They probably will.
We're out of time for the debating. I want you each to take a swing at what's a middle ground statement you think you would both agree with after hearing each other.
Okay. So I believe that my middle ground statement would come from the idea of the betterment of your life for you, your wife, your husband, your child, whoever is in your vicinity. If you are working towards making sure that you have the best thing in that life, regardless of if you're the leader or not. So regardless of if the man is the leader or not, as long as the relationship and the family is progressing forward healthily, then that's all that matters.
I think I would put forth something like this. It is a good thing if a man and wife, or whatever, insert romantic relationship, both pursue a virtuous life that will lead to both of them flourishing.
Do either of you disagree with each other?
I feel like we're saying the same thing. We're just using different words, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it would be preferable for your middle ground statement to, talk about men or leadership. Right. Ideally, both.
Sure. Okay.
Right.
The most flourishing that a relationship could get comes from a man who leads his wife in love.
Oh, no. I mean, again, I'm not saying that doesn't exist. Obviously, there's plenty of examples of existing, but I think that a happy relationship could exist without a happy relationship could exist without a man at all. But I feel like we're there. I feel like we can do this. Okay. So I believe that a man does not have to be the leader.
He gonna have to get the red to
Well,
flip.
I do think a man should lead, but I think what we mean by lead might be different.
Okay, let's do. Let me see if I can give you something. So if we do a man and a woman working in partnership is more important than who is leading them.
Ooh, I wouldn't say more important.
Because think about it this way. I'm going to give you my example is that if a man is leading, but they're a terrible leader, I mean, I'm sure you've met men that suck as leaders, right?
Yep,
if you have a man is leading, it can get real rough. So if you have a man that's leading, but they're
That's real though. He hot. He's sicker than a motherfucker too. Old nigga sick.
Terrible. You don't know, right?
He said, I was a gigolo. I was a gigolo.
Even if they're not leading,
that nigga's sick, bro.
Keeping her in check, they're working together. That's more important than a man leading, right?
I think I would agree with that. The only exception would be if the man is truly leading the relationship down a horrible place, and the wife just has to submit there and follow along as they both spiral. So how can we rephrase that to include that?
We got this. Let's just take a second.
Are we?
Yes, because we got the idea wrong. All we're trying to do is phrase it, okay? So
let's give it one more try.
All right, let's do this. Okay. You take a second to think. I'm gonna take a second to think.
I will.
Look, this old nigga sick.
The man should be the leader if that makes sense for the
Every single prompt is making the other person concede on their point. And so I feel like we've spent like 15 minutes on each prompt trying to reach a middle ground when we said we don't need to reach a middle ground, but necessarily to reach a middle ground on these things, it would need for one of them to concede a point.
No, I think I agree with you. I don't think we're gonna get past this one.
If I have to give the point that in some certain relationships, if the man isn't doing his job, like I can see that it might be okay for a woman to step into that role at least for a time. Yeah.
So I get what you mean. I think you're thinking about it more broadly, but we're talking about the man has failed.
Mm-hmm.
It's good for the woman to step up.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that we're good with that. Yeah?
Sure. Yeah.
All right, let's do it. So if a man is failing in his leadership role, then a woman should be able to step up.
Yeah, I agree with that. A woman should be able to step up if her man is failing as a leader.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Appreciate you.
They found one, man. They got one. Old nigga was sick. Look, he's still sick.
Thank you to Mills and to Kino for that. Very strained, but
I'ma just see what this next one talking about.
You know, the whole point of this is it is kind of an impossible task. That is kind of what. Yeah. So let's move into.
I'm gonna see what this one is.
Is misandry more allowed?
I don't even know what misandry is.
Choose your speaker.
Misandry, hatred, dislike, mistrust of men. Oh. And misogyny. I never even heard of misandry. I never even heard of that junk.
Like, I hate men are trained to do eternity, right?
I think it's really important to look at how we're defining permitted. because permitted legally and in corners of the internet that no one wants to go to are so different. Just because some woman on the internet is screaming, oh my God, I hate men, men should burn, men are trash, and her comments are lighting her up, does not mean that that's how society operates. A majority of the time, misogyny is so much more permitted within society because it is such a systemic issue. Women talk against identity and
Okay, y'all. I'm not watching no more of this. I mean, that nigga passionate too, man. Hell nah. I'm done with it. Okay. So hold on, let me go here for quick, like. But yeah, okay, we got that one in. I did want to watch that one though. Let me see. Oh, I didn't watch neither game either. But honestly, it's 1 o'clock. I got that one video in. So, yeah. Y'all tap in for another time, man. Y'all tap in. Y'all fuck with a nigga. You feel me? Fuck with 1Flisss. We be vibing. We ain't got a nice little good video. 5v5. Oh, this the video right here. We might go watch that. Not right now though. That bit too long too to watch right now. Nigga do got work, but I got work tomorrow. Then I'm off Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So we gonna be on stream at night. So y'all tap in. I just had to get that one in for sure. Y'all fuck with a nigga, man. Y'all fuck with a nigga. Oh, my camera finna go dead too. Perfect timing.